Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
would be very nice if that's an option.
Now, if they had just done what Nissan did, and where they unveiled the new Z on their own digital event with Cody Walker, which is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It would be. I would be very happy.
It would work perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, just bring the reviewers to your own event.
Exactly.
And all the normal people just see it online, which is where we're going to see it anyway. So
exactly. Like
so
everybody
everybody
that's going to see the car is going to see it online. Like end of story. But yes, Nissan unveiled the Z.
Yes, which is pretty big news.
Earlier this week.
We've been talking about it since like almost the first podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
We've been talking about the rumors leading up to it. Leaked photos came out.
And everybody was thinking it was going to be called the 400Z.
Yeah, we did.
Which would have been a change of name because it's not a 4-liter.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it does have 400 horsepower.
Yeah, so it still would have fit.
Well, it kind of would have fit, but like the traditional naming scheme is the engine. But 400 or Z, the new Z, 400 horsepower. Manual transmission option.
Yep.
Obviously with an automatic as well. Torque converter, not a CVT, which is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Subaru, don't use a CVT on the new WRX, please. And then, obviously, rear drive.
And it does have the twin-turbo V6, as we suspected from the Infiniti Red
Yes,
Sport.
but I think the biggest news out of this car, it was made entirely by Nissan.
That is very true.
It had zero help from BMW.
Right.
Zero help from any other brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is
we really appreciate that.
Yes, this is a fully 100% Nissan product.
Yep.
Made in Japan. It's beautiful.
Probably assembled in Mexico.
Possibly. We'll see. More than likely. Or South Carolina.
Yeah.
And it's only coming to the U.S. and Japan.
Oh, really?
Europe is not getting it. This is a first.
But yeah.
We get the cool stuff for once.
Yeah.
That isn't American, that is.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing these also on the street, just like as we talked about the GR86 in the last part. Pretty much all the rumors came true. The one difference is it does seem a little more expensive than we thought, but we also had an idea that this could happen.
Yeah.
Some of the rumors are saying possibly as low as $35,000. It's not quite that cheap. I didn't really think it was gonna be that cheap.
No, but it still comes in lower than the 4-cylinder Supra.
Yes, and that is definitely big. I mean,
that's a blow. Because you're getting more horsepower than the full-blown Supra.
Yeah, and for less than the 2-liter. Like, wow.
Like, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, and I think
That's
it goes to
huge
show
blow.
what Toyota should have done.
Absolutely.
And how Toyota screwed up. Also, they should not have called this Supra the Supra. It should have been something else, and then they should have like made a
GTR
actual
competitor,
Supra. Yes.
which is what the FT1 concepts look like it was going to be.
Yes. They should have just taken that FT1, put that into production, said, hey, this is the Supra, and then came up with whatever they have here, which is the current Supra, and then been like, okay, well, this is, I don't know, maybe the Celica or something. Like, it's not a Celica, obviously, but like something along those lines.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, because I remember seeing that FT1 concept as a teenager, because that was actually a while ago. It doesn't seem like it should have been that long ago, but it was.
Yeah.
And I totally thought it's going to be a GTR competitor, but it isn't. It's just the BMW Z4. So, yeah, we greatly appreciate Nissan actually making the whole car themselves.
And they thought about the enthusiast.
Yes, with a manual.
Yes.
Which I haven't seen this confirmed, but is this manual custom made for the Z? Because I don't know what other models.
I think it is.
Or maybe it's a 370Z manual that they.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might be custom made for the Z.
I don't know if they've officially said, because there's no other models that I don't think there's any other Nissans that even have a manual.
Not currently that I'm aware of.
I don't.
Except maybe some base models, but those aren't going to be this manual.
No. Yeah. So they even have their own manual.
Yep.
Their own engine.
Yep.
The one thing you can kind of put some slack on Nissan for is that it is using the same chassis as the 370Z, and I haven't heard if they've even strengthened it.
Right.
Which sounds like it may even be the same.
This is where I think that price point comes into play.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because this kind of makes it more of like a Mustang competitor, in my opinion, than a Supra competitor.
Okay.
In all reality. Just because it's not got the chassis stiffening.
Yeah.
But because of that power figure, like, let's be real here. Let's be real here for a second. Like, no normal person that's going to walk into the showroom is going to look at it and say, oh, well, this here's the same chassis as the 370Z, so I'm going to go buy the Supra. No, they're going to see this makes 400 horsepower. That makes 385. I'm going to go buy 382. I'm going to go buy the Nissan.
Right, for also 10 grand cheaper and has a manual.
Exactly. And you'll be able to do burnouts.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll be cool.
And also, if you are an enthusiast, that twin turbo V6 is also tunable, just like the BMW's engine.
Yeah, just like the BMW.
Yeah, maybe the BMW engine might have it beat a little bit, but I'd say like for 95% of the people that are gonna buy it, it's to me it seems like the no-brainer to go for the Z over the Supra.
I fully agree. And
maybe
I think
if the Supra had a manual.
I think it's a gorgeous car too.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about that. We were just talking about the Countach and how the retro styling on that, but how do you like the Z overall?
I think it's gorgeous.
I really like it too, and I love how they do have elements from older Zs. They also did keep the rectangular grille.
They did.
A lot of people were kind of
but they added some elements to it.
It's a little different.
So it's not like the one from the Z Proto, because that was just like basically like a mesh grille.
Yeah.
All the way rectangle. This one has like some elements to it to kind of split it up.
Yeah.
But it's still your rectangle with the black.
The overall outline is just like straight up rectangle, just straight edges.
Exactly, which I like, and I think it looks good. I do too.
I like it a lot. I liked it on the concept as well.
Yeah, I did too. I never really, whenever I was looking at it like from the concept, I remember.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Oh, Yanni boy. I remember like seeing all of these comments like, "Oh my goodness, it looks like a Samsung's just plastered onto the front of it."
Oh,
it's like God. I don't know. I think I thought it would look good from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks really good. It's a lot more straight edge than the 370Z now that I think about it.
Yes, which I like.
Especially the base model.
Speaking of which, they use the 50th anniversary 370Z in the promo material for the event. I think that looks terrible.
It looks so bad. It's not even a Nissan.
It looks like a project car. It looks like
so bad.
It looks like a mix match. Think about like a 240SX project car where like your hood is not painted and the you know what I mean?
Has mix matched from other 240s.
Yes.
Because they drifted into a wall and needed to swap out.
So you have like a blue door on that side and then you have a white door on that side. And the main body is red, but then your hood is yellow.
Yeah. And they also did something weird with the GTR too, where they I think it was also for a 50th anniversary. They had that, it was the blue, which looked nice, but then they had put that big old white stripe on it. It's like, why did you put that stripe on?
Well, and I feel
it
like
look good.
I feel like the stripe wouldn't have looked as bad if they didn't put 50th anniversary across the back of the trunk.
Yeah, that too.
Like, scream the edition much.
Yeah.
At least with Audi's like Decennium edition R8, they just did little hints of like copper or whatever color it was. It looked really good. The GTR was just like, nah, 50th anniversary.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, the one other thing that I do think is a little weird with this new Z, if you look at the interior, they kept the same door handles and the weird vents in the doors.
Oh, that say Z?
Huh?
The ones that say Z?
Does it say Z? I don't know.
I don't know.
All
I
I know
watching.
is if you've seen it, it's the same door handle as the 370Z, and I thought it was even weird in the 370Z, and they for some reason decided to keep it.
I haven't seen what you're talking about. Then I don't know.
Yeah, you just have to see it, and then also there's like the AC vent is like in the same enclosure as the door handle.
Okay, so obviously like the main structure of the car is still the same.
Yeah,
basically.
that's where I had a hint that I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It's still going to be based off the 370Z.
Yeah.
If they kept that.
But
everything else,
the interior looks a lot more upgraded. It looks pretty nice. I think from what I can tell, obviously it's in pictures, so it's not like you can actually like feel it just yet.
Uh-huh.
But from what I can tell, the interior looks like it has a lot of really nice materials on it. In it.
Yeah, it looks decent. Honestly, I just care that the overall design looks good, and hopefully it's just not built like crap.
And it has an actual functioning screen.
Yeah.
Now
because the 370Z was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty bad. Probably most 370Z owners put aftermarket stereos in there, and then also it does have a fully digital gauge cluster too, which is pretty cool.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is definitely nice. Definitely ahead of where it was before.
Yeah.
So,
I want to see these two compete on the track. The Supra and this. Basically the biggest question is that chassis going to be a big difference when people drive them? Because I don't know. I think you might be able to tell though, to be honest.
I think the biggest telltale will be on a track.
Right.
Because the average person will be able to tell a bit, but they're not going to be able to tell a massive difference between that and a Supra on a back road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because you're not...
you have to push the car to really test the chassis like that.
Exactly.
And again, they haven't officially said if it is like exactly the same. I mean, I think it is. I was hoping they'd come out and say it is based off the 370Z, but we added some strengthening here and there. Yeah. If they did that, then honestly, I wouldn't even care.
Right.
But if it is exactly the same, the thing is that you're competing with a BMW here, and BMW has been making some fantastic chassis. They make some great chassis right now.
Agreed.
So that would be the biggest difference, but it is really hard to say that I'm going to spend another $15,000 just to have a slightly better chassis.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Supra's still not really meant to be on the track, I wouldn't say. I mean, you can have fun on the track, but I don't know. Would you say that? I don't know if I'd really...
I don't think it's really a track car.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a back road.
It's still meant for a road.
That being said, you can certainly make it into a track car.
That is very true. That is very true.
But I think it's more of a back road carver than anything. It's not like it's going to go compete against a 911 or anything on a track. So
not quite, unless you do modify it, like you said.
Yeah,
because it is a great platform.
It is. But I think this is a pretty good segue into our poll for this week, and back to our little tournament that we're running for 70K.
Yes.
70K sports cars, 70K and under, I should say, sports cars. To basically two of the cars that kind of launched the whole tournament in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not the two cars, because it was one of these cars as well as one of the cars we were talking about before, the Supra.
Mm-hmm.
And the Supra's not in this one anymore.
Nope. But the 400Z still is.
Yep. Well, Z.
Sorry. Damn, man. The 400Z sounded good.
It did sound good, but they just stuck with Z.
All right.
Nissan Z, sir.
My brain for that one.
Nissan Z, sir. But you know what else is? You know what else is still in the fight?
What's that?
The Corvette Stingray.
The C8.
The heavy-hitting Corvette Stingray, which is like the most performance per dollar you can get.
Or possibly the Z. Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
But
in terms of like 0 to 60 and cornering, track times, drag racing, like it's kind of hard to beat the current Corvette.
Well, drag racing, I don't know, because it's hard to tune them.
Huh?
It's hard to tune the Corvette.
Right, no, but if you're taking stock for stock.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Is stock for stock.
Okay.
So
that almost sounds like you made your decision.
Huh?
Sounds like you made your decision.
Yeah.
On what you're choosing.
Yeah, I have.
The C8 Corvette.
Huh?
The C8 Corvette.
No.
Bro, you just made a whole argument as to how the Corvette's better, and then you say the Z.
And how many times have I said that doesn't matter to me?
Doesn't matter. Oh, man. All right, well, go ahead. You did fool me, and I even know you. Everybody in the podcast is going to be, what?
Again, as good as a performance car as the C8 Corvette is, it just doesn't have a soul. It just exists.
That's a good point.
It just is there. It does a task.
Yeah.
You say go left and it goes left, but there's no like, crap, I'm going to oversteer into that tree.
Yeah.
It's just, all right, I'm going left. Yep, you got it. You got it. I'm going there. There's no sense of fear or anything. There's no engagement in the drive. Like, yeah, it's fun for a while, but I feel like it's performance, at least in the base model, that would get old quick.
Yeah, for us enthusiasts, we like the excitement. Even if it's
I want to feel like I'm gonna die.
Even if it means it's slower, or even in these cases that Josh is arguing, even if it's completely unsafe.
Hellcat vibes.
And life-threatening.
Hellcat vibes.
It's still better than not feeling anything.
Hellcat vibes, man.
It is a little hard to make a decision on this because we haven't seen how the new Z drives, but we do know how the 370Z drives.
But this has a lot more power than the 370Z had.
Right, and it is also turbocharged, so probably torque way earlier.
You're going to see, if you turn off traction control in this thing.
Oh, you can absolutely drift the crap out of it. We already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Z as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're trumping the voters again.
We sure are. And I didn't even see your votes, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure because the Z did just get revealed, and usually there's kind of like a honeymoon phase, I've noticed.
Right.
That people are like, yes, the Z, I like that.
Yep.
But your voters are still saying C8.
It's 71% to 29%. It's not close.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go with the Z too. I think it is just overall more pure car and what it's supposed to be.
It's a driver's car.
It's going to be more of a driver's car. It also has a stick, which Chevy has said is not happening with the C8.
Yep.
They basically said it's impossible with the way they set up the chassis. Yeah, I mean, it's just a more
engaging drive.
It's just what we want.
It's a more engaging drive.
We suspect it will be more engaging.
Well, more than likely, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we know it's slower. We know it's slower, but it will be more fun.